Man, today's vocal tip is huge. I tell you what, if you grasp the concepts here, oh my gosh, it's going to make such a difference in your voice. Welcome to My Voice Mentor, where you can subscribe to online voice classes that will give your voice what it needs to captivate your audience every time. Okay, so we need to talk a little bit about vibrato, because a lot of times people might say to you, or you might say, oh, that person has too much vibrato in their voice. And the truth of the matter is that usually when we're saying that, we're not talking about vibrato, but we're actually talking about something else. So we're going to talk about both things today and how to control them, how to control vibrato, which a lot of vocal coaches might tell you, you can't control vibrato, you shouldn't control vibrato, you need to just let it have a natural spin. I just don't personally agree with that perspective. I respect it, but I don't agree. Because when I speak, I don't have vibrato in my voice when I speak. So, of course you can control vibrato. Of course you can. You can do a whole lot of things. And in fact, in order to get the style or the effect across, you have to be able to control it. You can't just let it just do what it wants to do. So what we first want to talk about is what vibrato is, and what about this secondary thing that a lot of times we attribute to vibrato, but it's actually something else. The sound that usually we think about when we say that person has too much vibrato is a sound that might sound something like this. And, you know, that's a little bit much, right? We might hear it in opera and it fits. Something like that, and it fits and it's good. In that setting, but obviously we don't want that in pop music or something like that. So there's actually two things going on right there. One of them is vibrato. Vibrato is this. Vibrato is the oscillation between, if this is the pitch, we're going above, slightly above, and then slightly below to create, you know, lack of a better term, to create almost a chorusing effect with our voice. It just gives it a more humanistic quality as opposed to it just. And a little bit of vibrato actually sounds really, really good. You know, if I do it too much, that can be a little too much. So I need to bring that in. I need to narrow the range of the vibrato. But then there's this other thing called tremolo. And what tremolo is like if vibrato is the oscillation of pitch, tremolo is the oscillation of volume. So tremolo without vibrato sounds something like this. So a lot of times people might go, hello, and they say that's vibrato. That's actually not vibrato, that's tremolo. And then if you combine tremolo with vibrato, you get, which can be undesirable. Tremolo is produced by pulsing the diaphragm, making the voice louder than softer, then louder than softer. So really, the first part of controlling vibrato is, hey, if you're not singing opera, get rid of the tremolo. You don't want it. You don't want it in your speaking voice. If I was talking like this, you'd think I'd have a problem. And I'm very sympathetic to those who actually have vocal issues, so that was in no way intended to make fun. But sometimes people do that because they think that it's something good. We want to not pulse the diaphragm when we speak. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's the first way to control the vibrato. The second is to just slow it down. Slow down the vibrato. We're going to start slow, and we're going to learn that oscillation before we speed it up. And we're going to do it like this. We're going to do that a few times before we slowly speed it up to a natural, proper vibrato, like this. Then we have a natural vibrato. It takes a little bit of practice, but if you spend some time, you'll get it right, and no one will tell you that you have too much vibrato ever again. That's awesome. So there's today's vocal tip, how to control your vibrato.